So you can see my screen.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Fine. Very good. So in our last lecture, we discussed about the IUCN categories of threatened species. So if we want to conserve the species, then there are two approaches. Either the species, when we want to conserve, then there are two approaches. Either we can conserve the species or we can conserve the areas. So we have already gone through the IUCN categories of threatened species, and now we will focus the areas, and there are certain IUCN categories of protected areas. So the IUCN definition of protected area is that it is an area of land and or sea, especially dedicated to the protection and maintenance of biological diversity and of natural and associated cultural resources, and managed through legal or other effective means. So this is the IUCN definition of protected area: an area of land, so it might be a piece of land, or sea, dedicated to the protection and maintenance of biological diversity and of natural and associated cultural resources, and managed through legal or other effective means. So there are different IUCN categories of protected areas, and they are meant for different reasons. Say, strict nature reserve. So this is the protected area managed mainly for scientific purposes. I have said that there are different IUCN categories of protected areas, and they are meant for different reasons. For from reasons you can recognize the area. For strict nature reserve, it is defined as the protected area managed mainly for scientific purposes. For wilderness area, these are the protected areas managed mainly for wilderness protection. Wilderness means सलमान शाबाश, विल्डरनेस का क्या मतलब होगा?
सर वाइल्ड एनिमल्स.
शाबाश शाबाश, wild habitat, in natural habitat of the species, wild habitat. So if you are going to protect the areas in its natural condition, then the protected area, it is meant for wilderness protection, it is known as wilderness area. Then national park. So national park, it is the protected area managed mainly for ecosystem protection and recreation. So we cannot say a park at your town as national park, because in a national park we are bound to conserve each and every part, each and every biotic and abiotic factor of that particular ecosystem. Say desert is an ecosystem, so when you would conserve the entire desert ecosystem, then we can say this is a national park. Similar is the condition for the grassland. For grassland, if you are going to conserve each and every component, all the biotic and abiotic factors of grassland ecosystem, then you would term it as the national park. Otherwise, there are so many parks in your towns and cities, but they cannot be termed as national park unless you would conserve all the biotic and abiotic factor of that particular ecosystem. So this is the difference between a national park and other parks, say Jallo Park or any park at your town. Then natural monument. So this is the protected area managed mainly for conservation of specific natural features. Natural monument meant for conservation of specific natural features. Then there is another category which is known as habitat species management area. This is the protected area managed mainly for conservation through management intervention. So the goal of all the protected areas is conservation, but in habitat species management area, you are going to conserve the species through management intervention. Say the species decline is in any protected area is due to lack of food, if you can supply food into that particular ecosystem, then it would be termed into that particular area, then it would be termed as the habitat species management area. So by applying management interventions in protected areas, you can conserve the species and the protected area. It would be named as habitat species management area. Then there is another category which is known as protected landscape or seascape, and this is the protected area managed mainly for landscapes or seascapes and the conservation of the landscape and seascape and recreation. And managed resource protected area, these are the protected areas managed mainly for the sustainable use of natural resources. So these are the certain IUCN categories of protected areas. There are different types of protected areas and they are meant for different reasons. Say protected area, we define it as an area of land and or sea specially dedicated to the protection and maintenance of biological diversity and of natural and associated cultural resources and managed through legal or other effective means. And there are different categories and they are meant for different reasons. Say strict nature reserve is meant for science. Wilderness area is meant for wilderness protection. National park is meant for ecosystem protection and recreation. Natural monument is meant for conservation of specific natural features. Habitat species management area is managed mainly for conservation through management interventions. Protected seascapes or landscapes, they are managed mainly for conservation of landscapes and seascapes, and other goal is recreation. And managed resource protected area, this protected area managed mainly for the sustainable use of natural resources. So you got my point. अच्छे आप लोगों को ये कोई मुश्किल बात नहीं है. There are certain definitions. So you got my point. You are clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
सर ये हमने
जी जी शाबाश.
सर हमने नेचुरल मॉन्यूमेंट में कहा है कि नेचुरल फीचर्स को कंजर्व करता है, तो इसमें कोई एक इसकी एग्जांपल बता दें नेचुरल फीचर की.
Say natural features, they might be say Yellowstone National Park. So if you have visited the monument at Islamabad, what we have done there, अगर आपने वो monument देखी हो तो हमने जो अपना कल्चर है, कल्चरल जो फीचर्स हैं वो वहाँ पे शो किए हुए हैं. से अगर पंजाब है, सिंध है, KPK है, so certainly the regions they have their own distinctiveness, the cultures they also have their own distinctiveness. So if you want to conserve those features, then they are known as natural monument. Shabash. Any other question? So you got my points. आपको समझ आ गई मेरी जो हमने protected areas पढ़े. Fine. Then there are certain other categories of IUCN. One of these category is known as a game reserve. बच्चे आप याद रखें, there is difference between the game reserve and wildlife sanctuary. Both areas, the wildlife sanctuaries and the game reserves, these are also the protected areas. But the difference between wildlife sanctuary and the game reserve is that hunting and shooting is allowed with special permits from concerned wildlife department in a game reserve, while hunting and shooting is not allowed at any cost in wildlife sanctuaries. So there is wildlife sanctuary, there is game reserve, but the difference between these two is that in wildlife sanctuary, hunting or shooting is not allowed at any cost, but in game reserve, hunting or shooting is allowed, but with special permits from concerned wildlife department. When I say concerned wildlife department, it means wildlife department basically is a provincial department. So if the game reserve is there at KPK, so you require permission from KPK wildlife department. If it is at Punjab, then Punjab wildlife department, and if Sindh, then Sindh wildlife department, and so on. So can you tell me what is the difference between the wildlife between the wildlife sanctuary and game reserve? Anybody?
यस सर। सर गेम रिजर्व और वाइल्ड लाइफ सेंचुरीज दोनों प्रोटेक्टेड एरिया है। जो गेम रिजर्व है वहाँ पे हंटिंग और शूटिंग अलाउ है, एक स्पेसिफिक लाइसेंस है या स्पेसिफिक परमिशन से। लेकिन जो वाइल्ड लाइफ सेंचुरीज है वहाँ पे हंटिंग और शूटिंग अलाउ नहीं है किसी भी कॉस्ट पे।
वेरी गुड। एनीबॉडी एल्स? भाई सादिया के अलावा मुझे तो बताए।
सर वाइल्ड लाइफ सेंचुरीज में जो है ना वो हंटिंग और शूटिंग किसी कॉस्ट पे अलाउड नहीं है, लेकिन जो नेशनल गेम रिजर्व है वहाँ पे लिमिटेड मतलब एरियाज के लिए कम परमिशन पे मतलब वो अलाउ है ये शूटिंग और, लेकिन है दोनों मतलब कैटेगरीज प्रोटेक्टेड एरियाज में।
कोई एरिया ऐसा हो सकता है जहां पे हंटिंग और शूटिंग अलाउ हो? आपके ख्याल में ऐसा होना चाहिए कि वो प्रोटेक्टेड एरिया भी हो और उसमें हंटिंग और शूटिंग भी अलाउ हो?
सर नेशनल पार्क्स में अलाउ होती है किसी हद तक।
नेशनल पार्क में हंटिंग तो अलाउ नहीं होती। अभी मैंने गेम रिजर्व का बताया भाई, गेम रिजर्व में हंटिंग और शूटिंग अलाउ है ना, बट विद स्पेशल परमिट्स। क्यों भाई सलमान, नईम, सत्तार, है ऐसा कि नहीं?
यस सर, है सर, है सही है।
जी सर।
ऐसा है ना? तो आपके ख्याल में क्या हंटिंग और शूटिंग अलाउ होनी चाहिए व्हेन यू आर गोइंग टू कंजर्व द स्पीसीज? इज इट रैशनल अप्रोच?
सर
नहीं होनी चाहिए।
मेन जब उनकी नंबर इंक्रीज हो जाते हैं तब अलाउ होनी चाहिए।
जी,
जब नंबर उनके थोड़े हैं तब तो नहीं होनी चाहिए। अगर वो रिजर्व हो चुके हैं मतलब उनकी प्रोटेक्शन हो गई है, नंबर इंक्रीज हो गए हैं, फिर तो होनी चाहिए।
वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड। सो यू कैन सी माई स्क्रीन?
यस
यस सर।
Fine. If your conservation strategies they were successful, then there is the concept of sustained yield. And what it means, say there is a cage, there is an ecosystem, the carrying capacity of that particular ecosystem is say 1000 deers. If the deers they are 1500, then certainly those deers they are beyond the carrying capacity of that particular ecosystem. So similarly, if at zoo there is a cage and the carrying capacity of these cage is 100 peafowls and you have some 130 peafowls, then what you can do, so there is the concept of harvesting. If the number of individuals, ये सलमान ने बात बिल्कुल सही कही है, if the number of individuals they are beyond the carrying capacity, then फिर आप क्या कर सकते हैं, then you can harvest the species। जो hunting और shooting का हमने अभी बात की। So the but there is the concept of maximum sustained yield or sustained yield। आपको कितना hunt करना चाहिए, shoot करना चाहिए, not it should not be unsustainable, it should be sustainable। So there are two ways when we say we have to harvest the species, we have to harvest the individuals, then there are two techniques। The first is known as fixed quota per unit time। In this technique the number of individuals they are fixed। Say the carrying capacity of a cage was 100 pheasants, and when there were 130 pheasants, So what you can do, you can harvest those 30 pheasants. फिर इसके लिए आप क्या करेंगे? आप ट्रॉफी हंटिंग का आजकल आपने बड़ा सुना होगा। ट्रॉफी हंटिंग से वाइल्ड लाइफ डिपार्टमेंट का सोर्स भी है, अर्निंग सोर्स भी है, और बड़ी जगह पे आपने देखा होगा हंटिंग शूटिंग होती है स्पीसीज की फॉर द पर्पसेस ऑफ मनी। सो द फर्स्ट टेक्निक इज नोन एज फिक्स्ड कोटा पर यूनिट टाइम। In this technique, the number of individuals, they are fixed, but the harvesting efforts, they are not fixed. Say, the carrying capacity is 100 pheasants and the number of pheasants are 120. So what you would do, you can harvest those 20 pheasants, and by shooting 20 times, by shooting 30 times, by setting your traps for 100 times, 100 nights, अब इसके लिए कोई जो efforts हैं, they are not fixed, but the number of individuals are they are fixed. You have to capture all those 20 or 30 individuals that are beyond the carrying capacity. But in the second case, the efforts, they are fixed. Say you can shoot for 20 birds, you can shoot only for 20 times, you can shoot 30 times, you can set your trap for 20 nights. So harvesting efforts, they are fixed, but in first case the number of individuals, they are fixed, but efforts are not fixed. But in the second case, harvesting efforts, they are fixed. Can anybody tell me what I have said?
सर हमने ये हार्वेस्टिंग टेक्निक्स देखी हैं, अभी एक फिक्स कोटा है और एक दूसरी है जिसमें टाइम हमारे पास फिक्स नहीं है। जो फिक्स कोटा है उसमें जो नंबर ऑफ इंडिविजुअल्स हैं वो फिक्स हैं, वो आप जितनी भी अटेम्प्ट्स में ट्रैप करना चाहें आप कर सकते हैं। लेकिन जो हमारे पास फिक्स टाइम है जिसमें फिक्स, उसमें आपके पास सिर्फ टाइम ही होता है कि उस गिवन टाइम में आप हार्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं, उससे आगे पीछे नहीं, तो वहाँ पे नंबरिंग का कोई रोल नहीं होता।
जी एनीबॉडी एल्स? आतिका स्क्रीन पे शो हो रहा है नाम। आपको समझ आई है? जी उसामा। जी आतिका आप बताइए।
सर जो पहले था उसमें था कि फिक्स कोटा है, यानी कि नंबर ऑफ इंडिविजुअल्स फिक्स है, लेकिन इसमें एफर्ट्स फिक्स नहीं है। और जो दूसरी है उसमें हार्वेस्टिंग एफर्ट्स हैं वो फिक्स है और नंबर ऑफ इंडिविजुअल्स फिक्स नहीं है।
फाइन, इफ यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चन प्लीज लेट मी नो। अगर आपका इससे प्रोटेक्टेड एरिया से इनसे, सो वी हैव गॉन थ्रू दी IUCN categories of threatened species, we have gone through the IUCN definitions of protected areas, and if your conservation efforts, they are successful, then there is the and number of individuals, they are beyond the carrying capacity, then there is the concept of maximum sustained yield. You can harvest the number of individuals that are beyond the carrying capacity. And when we say harvesting, there are two methods in the fixed quota per unit time and the fixed efforts per unit time. In the first method, fixed quota per unit time, the number of individuals, they are fixed, but the efforts are not fixed. But in the second case, the harvesting efforts, they are fixed. Fine. If you got my point, जी reach.
सर जो आपने कैटेगरीज बताई हैं उनमें जो लास्ट कैटेगरी थी और थर्ड, इन दोनों में इकोसिस्टम की बात हुई है, तो इनमें डिफरेंस क्या होगा? जो मैंने थर्ड बात की है और जो लास्ट वाली बात की है, लास्ट वाली कैटेगरी। यस सर। जो बच्चे लास्ट वाली कैटेगरी है उसमें हमने बात की है सस्टेनेबल यूज की। इसका मतलब ये है कि you should use for your own purposes, but you should be concerned for the generations to come. सिर्फ आप अपना से, if there is a gold mine, so this is not the way. If the gold is declining, आप क्या करें? You should close the mine. But the use should be sustainable. You can use, but keeping in mind that that there are future generations as well. You should leave something for the future generations. For sustainable, the difference between the national park is entirely a different thing. It is the, say, Lal Sohandra National Park. It is in at deserts. The main purpose is the protection of the desert ecosystem, entire ecosystem. But in resource protected area, there is no such binding. You can conserve any ecosystem. It might be smaller, large, but national park should be a very large ecosystem. Why? Because in a complete ecosystem, you require all the abiotic and biotic components, and certainly they are very large ecosystem. But for resource protected areas, the use should be sustainable. You should use the things from that particular ecosystem, but you should think for the generations to come. Fine.
सर ये हम नेशनल पार्क्स में बात कर रहे हैं बायोटिक और एबायोटिक फैक्टर्स की, तो बायोटिक में तो लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स हो जाएंगे ना, तो एबायोटिक को हम कैसे कंजर्व करेंगे?
Like sand, like soil, like temperature, humidity, but abiotic, say water body. There are limited water bodies into the desert ecosystems. आपको क्या करना है? आपको उनकी भी conservation करनी है. If you are polluting any water body, so it means you are interrupting the ecosystem. In national park, you should avoid to interrupt any abiotic factor or as well as the biotic factor. भाई समझ आ गया?
Yes sir, thank you so much.
Anybody else? If you have any question, please let me know. Otherwise, we would wind up. Fine. So there are 28 students at the present. Salman.
जी सर.
Please send me attendance. Fine.
ओके सर. और
Thank
सर
you
ये
very much.
पीपीटी पे शेयर कर दें सर, या सीटीएस पर अपलोड कर दें?
Every time I upload all these slides, all this lecture at your CTS system. Every time.
थैंक यू सर.
Fine. Okay. Okay. You can also access these lectures from my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.